Alright, guys. How you guys doing tonight? Been a few days. Hope you're all doing pretty good. Happy, dreadful Sunday night. Of course, Sunday nights are never really fun. But I'm up here just to do some housekeeping and just to do a little bit of catching up really quick. See how you guys are doing. As always, this is the Club with the Man 1993. We are live for my live review of this past week's episode of Smackdown. The throwback edition of Smackdown. Throwback Smackdown, as they called this past Friday night. The May 7th, 2021 edition of Smackdown that again took place at the WWE Thunderdome at the Yuengling Center in Tampa, Florida. We are now, next Sunday, May 16th, is WrestleMania Backlash. We have that show coming, and this, of course, will be the go-home week for that episode. Man, I just realized I have preview and predictions to do for that still this week. Oh boy, my week's gonna be nuts. We'll talk about that, of course, when we get there. Tyler's basically right. So, as y'all see in the description box, I did not give a grade for this week's episode of SmackDown, and that's because I didn't watch. I actually had plans all weekend. It was my new girlfriend's birthday. Well, okay, it'll be 5 months this week, so not really new. But it was her birthday this past week, and I didn't get to see her last weekend for her birthday because she went away on a little girls' trip. So I basically just freed up my Friday and Saturday to spend time with her. So I was with her from after work Friday until late last night, and I came home late last night. And of course, today's Mother's Day, and it's also it was also the birthday for my uncle that died last year, so we got together to celebrate that celebration for him. So yeah, I've been pretty busy, and be honest, my next few weekends are gonna be kind of nuts. But I'm here now, and but I didn't get to watch SmackDown. I didn't. So I watched the highlights, and I'll be real, nothing really appealed to me too much on this episode of SmackDown. Other than the stuff, of course, with Cesaro and Roman Reigns and the Usos. That's right, the Usos again, because Jimmy Uso returned on this episode of SmackDown. Everything else, not gonna lie, nothing really stood out to me on this episode. Nothing really at all. Everything else to me was just like I could have just all I needed to do was just to watch the stuff with the Universal title picture. That's all I needed to see. WrestleMania Backlash is not looking that good. Like, none of my friends even want to get together and watch it, and I don't blame them because, like I said, there's really nothing to look forward to for this pay-per-view. I'm sorry, it's bland. The whole idea of calling it WrestleMania Backlash to me is still stupid. It should just be Backlash. But what do I know? So it's gonna be kind of like how I've been reviewing Raw lately. It's gonna be more of like a recap rather than just like actually analyzing what happened. Well, other than maybe some stuff with with Roman, the Usos, and Cesaro. But other than that, just going to basically just tell you what happened on this show. I don't have at the time, I'm tired already. I have to work overtime this week for work, so I don't plan on really just going too in-depth about this episode of SmackDown. Before it being called a throwback edition, I believe it was just graphics. And Teddy Long came out also to make a match. The stipulation for an already broadcasted match. So yeah. This, we'll just go through and talk about it. First, let's check the live chat. What's up, Team Couponer? Like I said, not bad, just tired. Have my second Moderna shot coming up in a week and a half. And just trying to do a lot more than just work right now. It was good to see Jimmy back. I do agree, it definitely took a while. I thought he'd be back a little bit sooner than this, but yeah, definitely glad Jimmy's finally back. And it made things a little bit interesting again with this dynamic with Roman Reigns and Jay. Yeah, Tyler says this was no throwback. It was dumb. It was. Mark says, no offense to Ray and his son, but what have they done to earn a title shot? Other than having, like, how many matches with the Alpha Academy in recent memory? Plus two, when there really isn't many tag teams at all whatsoever, what do you really have to do to get an opportunity? You know what I mean? Because there isn't many in the end. Tyler gave the show a D minus. Yes, I am one busy B, basically. Tian Kupon was trying to say. That 10-man tag team match was stupid, and the booking of Raw and SmackDown is stupid. And SmackDown has its nights. Raw, of course, though, is just nah. I don't even want to get started on that. No depth in the tag team division for sure. But yeah, let me just talk very quickly about just the other stuff, and then we'll talk about what happened with the main course of the show. Teddy Long was praising Sonya Deville backstage after the opening segment, the opening match we had, and Sami Zayn apparently just want to discuss his conspiracy theories again. So with Teddy Long setting up a 10-man tag team match for later in the show. We had that match. Only other thing that was in between all that stuff for that tag match is just Apollo Crews saying he will lead his team to win the battle, but Big E says his team will make sure Apollo feels the power. The 10-man tag match ended up being Crews, Corbin, Zayn, and then Gable and Otis against Big E, Kevin Owens, Shinsuke Nakamura, and the Street Profits. And the heels won. I think King Corbin got the win by pinning Shinsuke Nakamura. It must have had contract negotiations or something, because Shinsuke had a face turn beginning of the year. Very, very, very brief push. Because remember, he got that good performance in the Gauntlet match for number one contendership for the Royal Rumble. Instead, he just then gets beat down by Roman and Jay, and that was it basically for Shinsuke's push. So, yeah, Nakamura probably did resign, but he sure I regret resigning because he's never going to get booked like he was in NXT. Not going to happen. We had that happen there. Oh yeah, Ruby Riott lost to Carmella by submission. Yeah, because we're not going to give Ruby Riott anything else to do, be pushed with. Bayley tries to pay tribute to the former women's wrestlers who made an impact in WWE. She ran down Bianca Belair, highlighting how she's insecurity in her eyes, but Bianca comes out and stands her ground, and then they start brawling. But then Bayley stands tall, basically. I don't get this feud, really, I don't. But, I don't know why we're not doing Bianca and Sasha in a rematch at WrestleMania Backlash. But, who knows? That would be a good match for the card, honestly. Sasha and Bianca, I still say 30-minute Iron Woman match, but the thing with Bianca and Bayley is just so random. Still feels like to me. Dominic Mysterio defeated Dolph Ziggler by pinfall, and now Dominic and Rey are going to fight the Dirty Dogs for the tag titles at WrestleMania Backlash. Woo. We also have Tamina apparently fighting Reginald, but she won by DQ, as Nia and Shayna just brawled with Natalya and Tamina for no reason whatsoever. Right, yeah, because again, we're supposed to hate both these teams, yet who knows? Who the heck knows? Again, I don't even want to waste my brain cells anymore. That's everything else that happened on the show besides what happened with the main story of the show. Let's talk about that. Let's focus on that only, and then we're out of here. So the show starts off with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Paul Heyman coming down, and they deliver a 10-bell salute for Daniel Bryan. Even though it's just Paul Heyman holding a microphone, pretend to say, ding, 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 ding. And Roman then takes the microphone and just says how he's a man of his word. And he should be acknowledged and celebrated. Because he said what he would do. And then he says that with Daniel Bryan gone, he is now being replaced on SmackDown. And that's when Jimmy Uso comes out and makes his return. And of course he's celebrating, giving hot handshaking and stuff with his brother and Roman. All excited. Kind of taking back how it was when, Roman and Jay first started feuding for Clash of Champions last fall. When Jay got his first title opportunity against Roman Reigns. But before they can start talking, out comes Cesaro, who interrupts and says how Daniel Bryan can never be replaced. And how he's basically coming after Roman Reigns. But then Seth Rollins attacks him, and they start brawling as they had a match on this show that, Cesaro accepted the challenge for a rematch from Seth Rollins. So they started brawling until they were separated by referees. Teddy Long came out and says if Cesaro defeats Seth tonight, he will get a match against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania Backlash for the Universal Championship. And which led to already, I thought this should have been the main event, but the first match of the show ended up being Cesaro and Seth Rollins, in which Cesaro won by pinfall, thanks to Jimmy Uso, taking out Seth after Seth started to, berate him. Obviously, causing some tension, though, questioning whether or not Jimmy is with them or against them, basically. But he takes out Seth Rollins after Seth got under Jimmy's skin, and off of that, Cesaro gets the victory, and whoop-de-doos, Cesaro is finally getting a one-on-one Universal title shot. We'll talk about that, of course, more in a second, but about damn time that happens. And the story, of course, again, is actually, right how it should be. But we'll talk about more of the long-term plan in a second. Afterwards, Seth Rollins complained to Roman that Jimmy Uso costed him this match. Then Roman says he will handle the situation, later on tonight. And then, basically, Roman basically goes to just, tear up the Usos, but then Jimmy Uso refuses to stand in line with them. And then Jey Uso questions Jimmy later about his suggestion that he is Roman Reigns' bitch, basically that as well. So obviously it's showing that Jimmy Uso is not on the same page as them. And then the show ends with Roman wanting to set things straight with his cousins. So after the 10-man tag match, out came Roman. He wants to speak to Jay, not Jimmy, just Jay. He explains that he loves his family, but he needs to know where he stands with Jimmy. After coming to the ring, Roman starts to speak before being interrupted by Jimmy Uso, who asks where his brother stands. He brings up the history that happened last fall. He brings up the I Quit match. From knowing that he would have never said I quit, Reigns says he will not go back and forth with Jimmy. He asks him to fall in line and acknowledge him. Jimmy then goes to leave the ring, but Jay follows him and asks him to just, says, I know it's hard, man, but you gotta acknowledge him. In the midst of all this, though, Cesaro comes in the crowd and he attacks Roman in the ring, and leading to Jey Uso jump back into attack Cesaro. Jimmy still resists him, and Jimmy finally just cracks and comes in, even though it wasn't a complete, heel turn on Jimmy's part. It was just showing that, he's kind of where Jay was back in the fall. Stuck in the middle, confused, not sure what to do and whatnot. Just great storytelling there, but then Cesaro takes each and every one of the three of them out, with the neutralizer and such. And that was the show, all it was. Here's the thing though, like I said before, I'm hoping that this whole thing at WrestleMania Backlash is not just, okay, there you're happy, we gave Cesaro his title shot, now we can just go back to booking him how he was. That's what I'm worried is going to happen. That's why I even said, don't have it for WrestleMania Backlash. Like, my idea was, again, have Cesaro and Seth have a rematch at the pay-per-view instead of just a regular random match at the beginning of the show on TV, and have I don't know, have a match on pay-per-view at WrestleMania Backlash. Cesaro and Seth Rollins 2 out of 3 falls, winner becomes number 1 contender for the Universal Championship. And or in some ways, somehow again have Cesaro go after Money in the Bank instead. I mean, you can still do Money in the Bank. Like, honestly, the match at WrestleMania Backlash to me right now should be more focused on the story about where does Jimmy Uso stand. Have WrestleMania Backlash be the show where Jimmy Uso solidifies a heel turn and he joins up with the Usos and Roman and joins up with Jay and Roman, and that's when it becomes more of a dominating stable. Then I'd say have Cesaro go after the Money in the Bank contract, have him win that, and then have him maybe at SummerSlam or something, he cashes in his opportunity and defeats Roman Reigns. Like I said, this whole thing with Cesaro, think about it. Again, you're pushing him and telling the exact story that we've seen in reality for the past 10 years. Cesaro, again, is probably within the past decade the most underutilized wrestler they have on that roster. So why would you have him just show up for, say he wants a match for a pay-per-view, have the match and that's it? No. Go more longer term and tell a story. Like I said, they can have this match where Cesaro looks like he's able to beat Roman, which Roman's done a good job making everyone look like that, they have a chance to beat him, but, not quite because he's more powerful. But I would have that happen and have basically that's just where Jimmy Uso turns on, solidifies his heel turn, and then, like I said, Cesaro gets opportunity up again by winning Money in the Bank, and, maybe go from there and see if it actually gives Cesaro a title run, which he deserves it, but, again, like I said, it's just the fact that Cesaro is even getting a one-on-one title shot is still a miracle in general. But we'll see what happens. And that was SmackDown. Live chat, see what we got here. No great for SmackDown. They thought they would have a rematch with Sasha and Bayley. I agree. Roman about to lose it when Heyman done the things. Oh, that's for sure. Just call it Backlash, WrestleMania Backlash. If Roman adds a 4th member, it should be Jacob Fatu from MWL Wrestling. Good Samoan, stable for sure. The boy Tyler, and then I'm not sure what he meant by that last part. But that's SmackDown, guys. Again, I'm going to be working a lot of overtime this week. I'm actually going to be working all 5 days this week, 8 to 5:30. So, I'm probably going to be tired. So, I don't know when I'm going to get to do reviews this week. Or any videos. It's going to be whatever. So, I have that. Friday night, I already have plans to visit my friends. Saturday, I'm going to the zoo. And then Sunday, I'll probably watch WrestleMania Backlash and maybe do live reactions with Roman and Cesaro. But other than that, that's it. Again, this WrestleMania Backlash show is just so bland, so dull, and doesn't excite me one bit. So no grade from SmackDown this week. Again, I didn't really get to watch it, so I'm not going to really, analyze it too much. Other than, again, I did the stuff with, Roman Reigns and his storyline going on there. So we'll see what happens in, next week or so, and, go from there. That's my thoughts, guys. What are your thoughts on SmackDown this week? If you have a grade for it, leave down in the comments section below. Slap a like on the video, subscribe for more content on my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. I'm checking out, guys. Good night. Have a great start to your week. I'll see you all later. Peace out, everybody.